Hello everybody and welcome back to the next video. This time it's a bit different. I've decided I'm gonna do a video about Nature's Prophet Position 4 and I'm gonna compare my gameplay with the gameplay of a random subscriber from the channel. So if you like the content and if you like the format, feel free to hit the subscribe button, comment below, and maybe next time it's gonna be your replay in this video. So the idea behind this video is basically I'm gonna show you guys what he's doing on his legend bracket, and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm doing in the immortal bracket, and you're gonna see a lot of major and a lot of minor differences. It's more of like, it's definitely more minor mistakes than major, but you will see the difference, what he's doing and what I'm doing. First of all, I'm gonna say I like the fact that he's TPing middle and warding up. Everybody's like doing this kind of with Nature's Prophet right now, because you can TP there, you can ward up with 2 wards, and then you can TP back to the lane, or you can actually TP to like kill couriers if you want to do it. Because you're gonna have the TP again if the enemies are using the courier, and you can just TP in the enemy base and kill the couriers for free there. So that's like a cool feature you can always have. The only thing I did not like there in this play basically is he took the Watcher. And if the CK is like smart enough and probably good enough, he would have understand that the Nature's just TP there and warded up. Because not a single hero in this game is like that fast most of the time. Like either he needs to understand there are people around, or he needs to understand that the Nature's Prophet is there. And he doesn't realize it. So that's the reason why he's dying there, because he doesn't have the experience, maybe he's not good enough, or he's just like not thinking about it. But that's like a big point I would like say that is like not good in this situation by the CK. Overall, the item build on the Nature's Prophet is like fine. I don't have anything against it. The only point is like he's playing against a IMMORTAL CK or a Shadow Shaman CK. So I would definitely recommend there like more tanking up instead of going for the Blightstone, because you also have a Primal Beast, and the Primal Beast is not right-clicking people most of the times. So your Blightstone is not really benefiting that much. You rather have like a few stats so you can tank more and maybe transition into an urn later on. Because an urn is definitely better than a Solar Crest, for example, in this game. Because of the reason you have a Spectre as a carry. You rather have like a few stats so you can tank more and maybe transition into an urn later on. Because an urn is definitely better than a Solar Crest, for example, in this game. Because of the reason you have a Spectre as a carry, and the Spectre doesn't really care about a Solar Crest. Instead, you want to go Vessel, or like a Drums, or like any item you can chase down people with the Invoker together. But remember, if you want to go for the Vessel, tell your Invoker, do not go for a Vessel as well. That's very important. Like for example, he didn't abuse the fact with the TP. Like he could have easily TP'd up here to the enemy side and killed 2 or 3 couriers, because people are not used to do it. People are not used to that, and most of the times the couriers will just die and you can do it for free. But other than that, I just like it. He secured the rune, he was fighting a little bit. And now he's like pinging his Primal Beast because he wants to white for the Shadow Shaman. So now we are going to watch my replay. And I can already tell you the reason behind my item build is basically I want to stay in the front, I want to be a tower, and I want to try to tank some spells for my Bristleback. And I just want to stay there and like hit enemies down. And the biggest reason why I'm not TPing to middle and like warding up like the Natures did before is basically because they have a Zeus and they have a Pudge. So I'm like kind of scared they're gonna smoke out and actually run middle as 5. And I'm scared that the Zeus is gonna find the ward with a bolt. That's the reason why I'm not TPing there. So that's like my decision. But also like my thinking in this game already is like, okay, I have a Bristleback on my lane and I'm playing against a Grimstroke Monkey King probably. The chances are very high. So my idea is like, yo, I want to stay here for like 2 minutes or maybe 3, and then I just want to leave, gank other lanes, and just stack for my Bristle. Because I'm gonna feed at this lane at some point. When the Grim and Monkey are level 3, I'm just gonna be like very useless, because my hero is getting like weak at some points. Also the Monkey King or like the Zeus gets the first blood is also like a very hard point to start the lane. But like overall, my mindset is definitely farm the lane, try to get whatever the Bristle can get, and I'm gonna give him a lot of stacks so he can come back. It doesn't matter how bad his lane is, I just want to give him a possibility to come back, and that's with stacks. The problem here is, he's showing the Shaman that he sees him. But it makes it very obvious that there's a ward. Luckily they get a kill, but if the Shaman is like taking a safer path, and he's seeing the Nature's Prophet, for example, in this position here where he's moving, then everything here is like not good. You will lose a kill, and you will actually give the enemy the information that you have a ward there. So remember that. Never show the enemies your vision. Only if you can make sure they do not understand where it is. But as a Nature's Prophet, most of the time it's very obvious because people are always TPing middle and warding it up there. So another example what I didn't like on this lane is basically the Nature's Prophet did not block the small camp. Not with his body and not with a sentry. That's one more big point I would say it's not really good because he needs to block it, otherwise the enemy is gonna get a pull off or they're gonna get even a stack off. So, but other than that, for now everything is okay and in a fine situation. Problem is he's also not unblocking his big camp. That's okay as well because you can just wait the first spawn and then you can decide if you want to block it, unblock it or not. The situation right there, for example, is good. Like he's forced the shaman to run into him a little bit and he just AFK clicks him because Nature's Prophet has way more range than a Shadow Shaman. So you should definitely abuse that. But it is important if you do this, you need to be out of the range of this Chaos Knight. Otherwise he's gonna stun you and they're gonna double stun you and then they will just push. Like in this situation right there, the lane is in a decent position. The only problem they have right now is basically the wave is pushing in. If we're just like comparing the laning stage already from the other game, from the Legend subscriber, I'm blocking the wave. I'm using my Sprout to block the wave. So I have the benefit that I didn't TP middle and wasted my TP there. And I can actually abuse the Sprout to do that. So we get a better laning position. But if we're just comparing my positioning and like how I'm right-clicking the enemies, you will see the big difference that I'm just hitting them. I'm moving like a little bit back to like just like play with the enemies a little bit. I'm trying to deny, but other than that, I'm just AFK clicking. As you can see, I'm playing way more aggressive because I understand I need to just AFK click them. I'm the tower on this lane, and I want to be strong and bait for my bristleback. And whenever I do this, we're killing them at some point because they're getting low against the quilts from bristleback, and I can just like stay here. And like I am very carefully with my position as well. One more big point, as you just saw with the ping, try to communicate with your offlaner if you want to deny stuff. If you do this, it's very good, and if the enemies don't have anything to range creep secure, we'll get a lot of denies out of that. So, but as you can see, I'm just AFK clicking the enemies whenever I can. If I have the possibility, I'm like doing it. Tangoing up, I'm trying to deny a little bit. My bristle needs to like be a little bit more carefully because the enemy wave is stronger than ours. Even though the monkey gets stacks, I'm just AFK clicking. As you can see. Clicking AFK, running back a little bit. I see the Grimstroke, that's the reason why I'm not following for the small camp. Like I understand he cannot pull, he can't do shit. So I'm just staying here, AFK clicking. I don't have a big camp sadly, but it doesn't really matter for me because I want to leave at some point anyway and leave my bristle alone because I want to stack and I want to focus different lanes. I'm just like trying to stay here a little bit and I'm hitting the monkey. Instead of not doing anything, I'm just hitting them. And the monkey is like overstaying a little bit, and that's the reason why he's dying. Just because I hit him. I'm not scared, I understand he can't kill me easily, and I understand me and Bristle are stronger than the Grimstroke together, because the Grimstroke did not show, and he's probably like pulling the wave. So, instead of like staying here AFK with my Bristle, I'm looking already for other stuff. So I'm looking at the Ancients, I pinged my Bristle back, yo, the small camp is pulled, you can go there and take the wave. I'm just sticking. And even though I'm looking at bottom and I see kills, yes, it is very tempting. But finish your first task and then go to the second task. And the first task is stack your Ancients, stack your big camp, and then you can TP to any lane you want. That's what I'm doing. I stack the camp, I'm TPing bottom, I'm getting a kill. Everything is perfect. And instead of like rushing TP top, I'm just like looking here and waiting for the enemies to come back. And if we get another kill, it's good. And look at this. I'm baiting the Pudge kind of. We almost kill him again. We sadly fucked up, but it doesn't really matter. But I'm waiting for them because I know they will come back and they're also expecting me to wait. But if you get another 3 kills and I'm dying for that, I'm totally happy with that. Because the Luna is getting a good kill and I do not really care about my life. So I just want to trade myself for any core or like any heroes that I can get. As you can see right now, he just didn't hit anybody because he's just scared. But the good thing is, if they go on him and he's like tanky enough, the Primal is gonna get out a lot of damage, and the Shadow Shaman and the CK, they cannot kill the Nature's Prophet on level 1. It is very hard to do this, and if they do, they will lose a lot of resources. So if you die in these positions, it's okay. But he's in a like safer position, I like that, but he needs to hit them way more. He could have like done this, what he's doing right now, 10 to 15 seconds even earlier. And it would have been way better. Because you can just let the primal tank. If they go on him, you just AFK click them. You need to keep them low so they can't go on you. And if they are like half HP and they're being low, they will never go on you. You have the benefit of like, every time they go on you, Primal Beast can just counter engage. And that's the big benefit you have. Back to player view, I like the fact that he's not pulling the big yet. They need to push more, and then they need to pull the big camp. Let's see if they do this, because like right now, as you can see, the Natures is very scared of hitting them, just because they have way more creeps on the enemy side than they do. So that's like one scary part. Now they get level 2. Now he's like out of, like, he's losing his position just for a millisecond, right here, and they might go on him. If the Shaman is like a little bit faster, they could have easily gone to Nature's Prophet there and kill him. He's lucky they didn't, but the problem is the wave is pushing into them. So it's very simple what's going to happen. The Shaman is going to run to the small camp, and then he's going to get a stack off or a pull. And if this is happening, the lane is already lost. And that's the reason why you need to that's why you need to block the small camp anytime. Or you need to follow the Shaman. The only reason why he cannot follow the Shaman is basically they can chase him down and kill him. Plus these 2 creeps are just following him. So I would actually recommend him like TPing up here. TPing to the high ground up there so they can't kill him. And just put a sentry there so the Shaman cannot get a double stack. If he gets a pull, shit happens, but he needs to interrupt the double stack. Because this is going to ruin the lane quite a lot. So in this situation right there, instead of like going to the small camp, he should definitely pull the big camp. Tell the Primal Beast, yo, push the wave in, I want to pull the big. The problem is CK is interrupting that, and like he just interrupts it for the Nature's Prophet to do it. Because they're not even pulling, they stack the small camp. That's even worse actually. Like getting a stack on the small camp is the worst thing that can happen for you as a position 4. Because they're gonna deny an entire wave, maybe even 2. And whenever you go on them, they might actually just run at you and kill you. So you know that they're gonna pull. So the mindset should be still, yo, push the wave, I want to pull the next wave. If you and the Primal Beast are just pushing, instead of like hitting the CK right now, you could have gotten the pull-off to the troll camp, and you could have like denied a whole wave. Because you are checking now if the small camp is getting pulled. But it's kind of obvious that it is getting pulled. And it is a double stack if the Shaman didn't fuck up. So instead of like looking here and just watching them, and risking your life, because this is very greedy, you could have just pulled the big camp, and you could have actually denied the whole wave. So, because like right now, the point here is like okay-ish, because the wave is pushing in for the CK. He needs to react and he can't like go on you, but you need to pull this wave then instead now. Because if you do this, you're still denying an entire wave. And let's see if you do this. No, instead you're just watching the CK and the Shaman, and you're like not even hitting him. I'm pretty sure if I just counted the seconds where you didn't hit a single enemy, it is like 1 to 1.5 minutes right now. Like you hit them once or twice with Sprout, but that's it. I like the fact that you go for the Lotus, and I like the fact that you're looking at middle already. But as you can see, you literally just ruined the lane by not pulling the big camp, by not blocking the small camp, and by giving them a stack for the small camp even. So think about this, whenever you play Nature's Prophet or any position 4 hero, you need to block the camps and you need to make sure the enemies are not getting pulls off. If they get a single pull on a small camp, it is acceptable. But if they get a stack and then they get pulls off, it is definitely not good. Like, it's gonna ruin your entire lane. I like this, what you're doing right now, but before you do this, you need to watch on your lane what's gonna happen. As you can see right now, the wave is pushing in, so you can do this, but you did not check this. You need to check it first, and then you need to like look at middle. So instead of like doing like only looking at middle, you should definitely watch your Primal Beast, what he's doing right now. And then you need to understand that the small camp right there, the big camp right there is gonna be abused by the enemies. So you need to tell your Primal Beast, just pull the wave back, I wanna gank middle. Like just communicate with him. Because as you can see right now, what's gonna happen? You are lucky that the Primal is doing this. He's pulling the wave back, it's very good, but now the enemies are getting a stack off. Even though you killed middle, it is probably more ruin for your top lane. Because a Primal Beast cannot stay against 2 people. I get the point, you got a mid kill, but you need to make sure that you're looking at your other lane as well, and you need to make sure that you communicate with your offlaner when you do this. Just try to tell him and give him a quick information, yo, I want a TP. Or I want a TP soon. So he's like understanding it, yo, he's going to do this, and I need to be ready for that. So now we go back here. You're getting a curry kill, I like that. Like, as you can see, the wave is pushing back in. That basically means you could have actually pulled the big camp again if you want to, because now the CK and the Shaman get levels. And whenever they get levels, they can just kill you, and this is the problem. This lane is very scary for Shadow Shaman, but you have a primal, so he can protect you. So you need to abuse the fact that you are just a tower, and you can sit there and AFK click them. And I really want you to do this more. It is very important to do this. You will apply pressure, even if it's a CK, it doesn't matter. You're applying pressure, and you're forcing them to go on you, because if they go on you, they're gonna die. If they use 2 spells on you with the stuns, this Primal Beast has a free game, he's dealing like 1k damage to anybody, and they will just die instantly. Like, because as you can see, you're trying to pull in a situation where it's not even working out, no shot. So instead, hit them, like right now, just AFK click them, hit the Shaman, whenever they go on you, you can go on them. You have double mango, you have a mango, you have a stick, you can just bait, you are very strong, you're tanky. Like, instead of farming this big camp, you should have actually pulled it. You do it, but like, sadly, it's a little bit too late, because you killed the creep already. And you gave the Shaman a stack again on the small camp. So you need to think about this. I get the point, you're owning this game and you're killing all the people. Yes, it's cool and nice. But you need to think about the points, what you're doing on the lane. Because you're gonna ruin the off lane, but you're gonna win other lanes. So it's a trade-off. So at the end, you still didn't win anything at the end, you know? You're losing off lane, you're winning safe lane. Instead, you could actually like win the off lane, and after you secure the off lane, then you can win other lanes, for example. Because as I said before, you're still not looking at your top lane, what's gonna happen, because your Primal Beast right now is fighting the CK, and you did not look there. Instead, you go bottom, and you just tunnel visioning on there. Like, you're lucky the X fucked up with the Quelling Blade, or he's not TPing out for some reason, and you're getting a kill again. But the problem is your primal is gonna suffer at some point. If the enemy is understanding that you are not there, and they can just run at him. Like, overall, I'm just like looking, I'm looking to top, I understand, yo, this guy is not, even if the Bristle is getting gone on, I don't really care. Luna is like my main target here, getting another kill in the patch, looking top again, TPing base now, so I can just like be ready and full HP at any point of the game, and I'm looking at middle. My Zeus is screaming, yo, can you help me, can you help me? But the problem is, Zeus is not dying. I mean, the Kunkka is screaming, can you help me, can you help me? And I understand the Zeus is not dying. So instead of like going back to top and being useless, or going back to bottom right now when the Nyx is dead, I'm just going back to the Ancients. I'm waiting 10 seconds so I can pull, I'm warding up so I can secure the area, and I can just stack for my Bristle. Because I know my Bristle is fine. Like, they can kill him once or twice, but if the Bristle is getting like 8 stacks on the Ancients or something, he's coming back at any point. And that's like the big benefit you will get. Like, I understood that I'm not doing anything on the top lane at some point, and I'm just abusing that. Instead of going top and feeding there, I just stay in my positions. I'm like being ready to help others, but I'm also like always ready to just stack the Ancients, because this is like the best thing I can actually do. Now the Marcy's coming top, we're going on the Monkey a little bit, he's dying, very good. Now we're going back, we're killing the Bristle, we're killing the Grimstroke, and now we are back. I'm TPing to the Ancients, and I'm stacking again, and then I'm going for the actual one, because this is the next path I need to do. Like, everything you can see, the difference between me and the subscriber is basically I have a straight plan in my mind, and my decisions are having always like 3 steps. The decisions I'm doing always like backing up something. I'm TPing bottom to help them, then I'm stacking. I'm TPing to stack, then I help top. I'm TPing middle, then I go back to stacking. It's like always like I'm doing something, and in the next seconds I'm doing something else. And that's like the big benefit of like high MMR players, or like people with like a lot of experience. Whenever they do something, they have an idea behind it, why they're doing it. Even your Spectre doesn't understand the point that you're actually ruining the top lane, kind of. It's not like insanely big, but it is important, you know. Like, that's the important part. Like, right now, I really want you to TP top. Don't gate top, because if you gate top, you're gonna run into a weird path, and the enemies can just like run at you if you're like unlucky. Like, for example, here right here, if they have a ward in the portal, or even here, this is super greedy, because they're going to go on you if they're like in position. Like, you're lucky they're not, and you're getting the Lotuses, and like you kind of are playing them, kind of, because I'm pretty sure any like higher MMR or like good player would have actually camped the Lotus and waited for you, or like waited for the Lotus and basically just run into you. So that's like the problem. If they are ready, they're gonna own you. You are lucky they did not. But like overall, like my recommendation for your laning stage is definitely try to hit them more and try to abuse the neutral camps way more. Like you need to AFK click them, AFK click them, and AFK click them. Whenever you do this, you are playing pressure and you're gonna own your enemies. As you can see, like there's not super much different what I'm like saying that is like not good or something. It's just like minor, sometimes major points that are the problem. But this is what making the difference. Because for example, right now, you have a TP ready, you could have already looked at the experience, for example. Because the tree is already sitting there and I'm pretty sure you can get a kill. Like right now, you pulled the wave back, you pulled the neutral camp, now you can TP and do whatever you want. Because you're gonna secure him 2 or even 3 lanes, waves, and then you can come back. Like you have like 1 to 1.5 minutes to just come back to the lane. But instead, you're not doing anything right now. Now you're hitting the CK when he's already level 5. And he's gonna just like heal back whatever you hit him. Or they're even going on you. Like CK could easily go on you if the Shaman is ready. And if the CK is just like stunning you and pulling you back. And your Primal couldn't even do something because he's half HP. And they will actually kill you, probably. So you are lucky that they are not doing so much. But like in a real situation, they would have actually killed you a few times there. Because you played very greedy and your positioning on the laning stage was like okay-ish. But you could have been way more aggressive on level 1 and 2. Or like, let's say level 1, you could have been way more aggressive. And like, just be a tower. Whenever they go on you, your Primal is helping you and you kill them. But also, you need different items for that. Like, you need more stats. For example, double circlet, double branch, grenade, sentry, ward, and tangles. It's like the classic build I'm going for. Because you have a lot of stats. And you can actually tank up quite a lot. And you can bait for your teammate. We just saw the Nature's Prophet and Ledger Bracket. He did something, and then he didn't knew what he wants to do. And that's like a big point you will get if you get a lot of games on a hero and more experience. Because like right now, even though my Bristol and me, we got like 2 kills on the Monkey King, I'm still respecting the fact that it is a Monkey King and a Grimstroke. So they are stronger than me. So 6.5 minutes, I'm getting the Lotus, and now my first thought is like, yo, experience. My Marcy is probably also screaming for it, but he's like too late probably for it. So I'm looking bottom, I see my Luna is dead, I can't really help her. So instead of TPing there, like wasting my time, I'm just going for this. I'm stacking the camp probably again, yes. Because I have a Bristleback, I have a Kunkka and a Luna. All 3 heroes can actually farm stacks. So instead I'm just like stacking, getting the experience. My Kunkka farms the Ancients. Now I'm looking back to top a little bit because I know the monkey is solo, but they just killed Luna bottom, so they probably will portal top with Patch and the Grimstroke at some point or TP. So I understand this. I'm like behind my Bristleback. I'm just being annoying a little bit for the Monkey King, and there we go. They TP top. Grimstroke and Patch TP top, as I said. Kind of obvious actually. I even told my Bristle that this is gonna happen, but he didn't want it to hear. But at least I tried to communicate it with him. Like I understood it. Sadly he did not, because he's like a little bit like way lower ranked than me, and like he doesn't have the game understanding. I do probably. But like overall the decision making is very simple that I'm doing. And instead of like going top and feeding there, we could have stacked the Ancients again. And like even farm more with the Luna, Kunkka and the Bristol. Because they're gonna come back with Ancient stacks anytime. That's basically the name of this game. Because I can stack, I'm getting so much experience out of it, and I'm getting so much gold out of it. And yes, big reminder, you get experience and you get gold out of stacks. So if somebody's killing the stack, you're getting experience and gold for it. Remember that. Getting a part of it. I'm not quite sure how much. I think it's like 10 or 20%. But you're actually getting a part of it. So remember that. Whenever you have heroes that can farm stacks easily, like Kunkka, Luna, or Bristleback, instead of like wasting your time at some points where you can't do anything, just stack Ancients. You will actually love it. You will get a lot of farm. And you will not regret it. Trust me. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, as I said before, and feel free to follow me on Patreon. You can even do it for free. And on the next weekend, I'm gonna drop a video / coaching session on my Patreon for free to watch for everybody. So make sure you're gonna follow there to stay tuned about good Dota gameplay and coaching sessions. Peace. Bye bye.